Hello, Jamie from Inky&Scrappy, sharing with you today my Cluck stamp set series card number 3 and a bonus one at the end. So this one I'm making my own pattern paper. I love the little stamps that are in Ink stamp sets, but I have a really hard time making a card with them as the focal point, but they work perfect for backgrounds like this. So I stamped it on my background, kind of haphazardly, switching it, turning it this way and that way. And then I stamped a row of them on some Avery removable adhesive sheet so I could run it through my brother Scan and Cut. Then I'm just coming in with that guess what stamp, because of course it goes with that chicken butt. So I'm just kind of adding that in here and there to kind of fill in the space. So once I have that done, I'm going to go cut those out. So to do those, I cut them on the line on my brother's Scan and Cut. It does not, I knew it wasn't going to cut out the legs. I wasn't really worried about that. I stamped my background in Lawn Fawn jet black ink because I had planned on hand coloring in my chickens. They're pretty little. It went really fast, to be honest with you. I could have probably done a couple of more, another row of chickens on my sheet here and had enough of the Avery removable parts for my chickens. I had kind of thought about just like doing the top half and then the bottom half. But ultimately, I'm like, I have the back side of the cutout, so I just ended up adding a little bit of removable adhesive onto those back pieces. And they're see-through enough that I could line them up and get them to work. So some of them, of course, have slices through them because the Avery full adhesive sheets or removable adhesive sheets kind of have broken up back so you can remove it easier. And so I just kind of made sure I took the ones that I needed and went that route. It wasn't a huge deal because my chickens were going to be darker in color. So I wasn't, worried about it too much. The one did move on me. It really didn't matter. I covered it with the alcohol markers anyway, so it didn't matter. I knew I was doing dye ink on this one because I didn't do a heat set clear emboss, and I didn't want to lose my stamped background, if that makes sense. So to start with this one, I decided to come in with close to my heart outdoor denim cardstock. I really love deep dark blues. Blues are my favorite colors, hands down. And so I decided to go with that deep dark blue on the outside. And then I'm coming in with the Indian corn blue on the inside, just kind of lighten it up in the center so it'll highlight my image that is going to go on the center of this one. Now, granted, I debated even adding anything to the front of this one because once I was done with it, I loved it. Now, because it says guess what, I really wanted to stencil on some, like tone-on-tone stenciling with the question mark. I did not have a question mark stencil. So what did I do? I grabbed a piece of scratch paper and I die cut out a 2-inch question mark. So the 2-inch question mark comes from the Momenta die set. I don't have a number on it. It's, I picked it up for a song at Hobby Lobby when it was on clearance, and I pull it out quite a bit. So that 2-inch die set, it just works great for big, bold sentiments and such. But I cut it out 3 times on this. I probably could have just cut it out once, but it really didn't matter. I just kind of moved it, shifted it around, and put the question marks all over the background. I kind of did outdoor denim on that one just so it was a little bit darker than that Indian corn blue. And then, of course, the tone-on-tone with the outdoor denim works well. So once I was done with that, I'm just going to remove and peel all of my little pieces off here. Yes, they can be a little tricky. So the reverse tweezers work really well for kind of peeling it up and go from there. I did do my complete background on Xpress cardstock because I knew I was going to be doing some alcohol markering, and it's my favorite paper to marker on. So I just started with my deepest tone here, which is the 94. This is the old Ohuhu Ohuhu set. They're like this beautiful orangish red browns, and they work really well for this. If you have my conversion chart, which is on Etsy, it's $3 for the full one, which does all of it, and I would suggest spending the extra $2 to get the full one because, yeah, it's worth it. there you have it. All my color blends otherwise are on my blog on the side, which are free. Go ahead, have at them. I don't have the conversions on all of my color palettes on my blog. Just a heads up. It takes time. So I just kind of kept it in fairly simple. I will share the markers here in just a little bit, which ones I use. I kind of just left one in to go like wherever I didn't maybe have a shadow or my paper wasn't quite right. I went in with that blue-gray marker and kind of just traced around it. It kept close enough to that blue that it wasn't like bold and in your face, but it kind of gave it a little drop shadow or a little bit of shadow there, and it worked really well. So of course I'm pulling in one of those images that I colored in my, well, I didn't really have it on video, but I colored it with my first one in my Cluck, yeah, stamp set series, and so I'm working through them, and you know, I can't ever make anything the same. And yes, I had to bring in a wobbler for this one. It was just meant to be. Like, it was perfect size. Yeah. I do add a little bit of liquid adhesive to my action wobbler. Why? Because I have adhesive issues. I don't know. I've had them like come off here and there, and so I do like to just add a little bit of adhesive. The thing is just to not wobble them until it is dry. I should listen to my own advice. I do not. So I had planned on going with a different sentiment on this one, and then I decided, nope, you know what? I really like this one instead. So I ended up going with this one. I'm going to bring in some Smoky Plum cardstock here, close to my heart again. I'm going to stamp some Versa Mark Onyx Black, and so I may look calm, but in my head, I pecked you 5 times. Yeah. We have days like that, right? Okay, I'm not the only one. My chickens probably think about pecking me multiple times. Sometimes they're not very nice chickens. No, they're usually good. I have a chicken story for you someday. I'll get to it. Maybe I'll share it on my other one. So this card is card 3 in my stamp set series. I have just a card share because I didn't actually record it at the end of this one. And then if you want to see the 4th actual video footage one, that will be on my Salty Card Creations YouTube channel because I went with some foul language. Anyways, so I'm going to readjust that little wobbler here because, of course, I wobbled it before my liquid glue was dry. So I'm going to I peeled it off a little bit. I'm just trying to get it to be more straight than it ended up being. And, you know, yeah. So I'm going to bring in my sentiment here. I just cut it with a Modern Embossed A2 size rectangle. I just kind of moved it to make it fit my sentiment size here. I do that quite frequently on sentiments that I want a custom size die cut look to. I did ink around the edges with whatever was left on my dark blue blending brush. So I'm going to bring in some baubles here or some embellishments from Trinity Stamps. I think they're their cave crystals. They were just a freebie in one of my orders from them, and so I'm trying to use up all of the things. You know, that's what happens when you clean the craft room and you see you have like randomness everywhere. Yeah, I did get rid of a few things, but you know, I'm like, I should probably use these up before I use up the other stuff. So I brought those in. I do love the little added bling it adds to my card front. And then, of course, I'm going to bring in the Glossy Accents for the eyes on the chicken again. I think I did it on almost every one of my cards that I made for this series. It's just, they look so pretty and they pop so good once it's all dry. So there is the finished card front. I will pop that on E2 base. And of course, you chicken, I see you. I see you. I see you, chicken. I see you, chicken, meow. Yeah, I know. It was a plan, the bok, but you know, chickens. Yeah. Okay. All right. There is my finished card from today's video. And then the inside here, she is beauty. She is grace. She will peck you in the face. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Keep getting inky. Have a good one. Bye.